Yourself podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Ian Booth and Darren Lavery of HAINT. How the fuck are you, lads?
Doing good.
Good.
Thanks for having us on.
And I have my lovely pink-haired co-host that got his nails done as well. Show us the lovely Evan with us.
What's the crack?
Good to have you on board, my friend.
Yeah. All good, man. Wednesday night drinking, and this is what happens. Like.
Now, Ian and Darren, guess where we are going tomorrow? Myself and Evan. We are actually going to a live heavy metal gig.
Oh.
I'm actually going to cry. Like I'll be sitting there with pink hair, painted nails, and tears rolling.
I'll be holding on to you, man. Both of us will be babbling messes, so we will tomorrow night.
Yeah, I only found out last night as well that we're staying in Limerick. I didn't know what was going on.
Fair enough. When you go to Limerick, you have to stay there. I'm not fucking going to drive up to Limerick, not drink on my first gig, and then drive back.
I genuinely thought that was what was happening. I was like, fair play to Richie, like, because I'm going to be talking the ear off him in the car.
Never rely on Richie when it comes to fucking gigs. No. Well, you would. I will be there, but I'm going to be drinking, man. Fuck that.
Who's playing, guys?
It is Zealot Cult and Brigantia.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay.
So it's going to be the Mick Carey special, like.
Yeah, Mick is on double duty.
Yeah. Of course, when gigs come back, he has to do both of them, like.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Gigs, what are those things?
Have any of you come across Zealot Cult before, lads?
I know the name, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of them, but I haven't, to be honest, listened to them.
Yeah, it'll be weird.
I presume we're going to have,
whatever.
I was just going to say, we're going to have to fucking stay seated for this, like.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like, anyone that's going to give out about that can just fuck off. And I mean that would that's it. You know what? And I think fair play to the lads for actually putting it on. You know, we will get to a stage over the next while where we won't have restrictions, but I'm happy just going to see another band play live. Do you know what I mean? Because the only other bands I've heard is up in our rehearsal spaces through walls. So I'm really looking forward to this now, and even just getting to see everyone again. You know, because we've had like group chats and we haven't actually got to meet up in so long. So it'll just be a great experience. Like I'm absolutely fucking buzzing.
Yeah,
can't wait for gigs to be opened up back here.
Acid Age did a short, last minute short notice gig, I think, the past weekend there, I'm sure.
Did they? Were they like rescheduling another
everybody
gig
was,
over
man.
and over?
Everybody,
I saw that. I feel bad for James having to the amount of pushing back he's had to do. Like,
we're supposed to be playing this weekend. We're supposed to play on Saturday night with Sky Pilot, and that's just been postponed in November.
I saw that today. Right.
And your Pure Sonic Outcasts, you were supposed to support them as well. That was pushed as well, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's 2nd of October, which is only 2 weeks away. So,
do you think that will go ahead?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You just don't want to bet on it right now.
True.
Yeah, it's a very weird kind of, you know, like, come to the gig if it's happening, you should come. You know.
Yeah, because we were even expecting points in Voodoo when we went up to Belfast, and there was one of the staff members got COVID or something like that, and they shut it down. And we were just fucking going,
like
Jesus.
the day that we got there.
Yeah. But you know
what is happening?
Oh, was that not supposed? We were supposed to play a gig that day, weren't we?
Yes,
we were supposed to be playing a gig that day.
To the masses.
Man.
Because that's what we were going down to.
And then Voodoo put that sign up, and I said to Ian, well, even if the gig hadn't been postponed, we still wouldn't have played it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Like,
it's like, seriously.
Because I feel like poor HAINT are like just getting started at the start of all this. I've noticed that, like, because you kind of just started, and then all of this kicked off.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many
gigs.
Plans. Yeah, exactly.
5 gigs now we've had postponed since the start of the summer.
Yeah.
You've had more gigs postponed than you've had actually played now at this stage.
We've only played one gig.
We've only played
one there you go.
Yeah. That's it. That's what like, they're inviting us on the show. Why? Like, what are we doing? What are we having to go to Scotland? We're having to go to Scotland.
The console.
I saw, you're going to Edinburgh.
We're playing Dundee and Edinburgh. Like,
September,
not this weekend coming, not the weekend after. Yeah,
it is September. We're
having to get a ferry to Scotland to play some gigs.
Yeah,
great.
That's Acid Rain and Dog Tired Iron Altar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch Acid Rain.
Yeah,
Shout out
that's
to the
a
Dog
lineup.
Tired Hombres.
Yeah.
I'm wearing your... That's actually a special Bloodstock t-shirt that I'm wearing, even though I never went.
Edition.
It's all about fucking the contacts, lads.
That's it.
They don't need to know. I was definitely there. It was great.
Yeah, no, that was a depressing fucking thing as well that we couldn't go there. But did any of your mates get the Bloodstock?
I know lots of people that got to go to Bloodstock. Yeah, most of them obviously being in bands, like the guys in the Crawling, and you know, they seem to have an absolute whale of a time.
That weekend was a very hard weekend to have any social media account. Do you know? That was very hard, just kind of watching everything. And then when you're here, at that stage, we had absolutely no idea of an actual roadmap or anything. So you're just seeing it and getting more and more frustrated and angry. You're obviously happy for everyone, but I'm not going to pretend I wasn't like seething with jealousy. Do you know what I mean?
And there was rumours as well flying around that fucking live music. Remember that rumour? Wasn't until March next year.
Yeah, and I knew that there was something, because they were making the announcement in like 2 weeks after that, and I was like, if they just made that decision and they're going to wait 2 weeks to say it, there's something not right about that. But I knew, right? I was, I didn't want to say anything online or give out about, because it was just, a rumor, and things changed so much. I just really didn't want to upset myself.
Bloodstock was hard. I lived in Manchester for a few years and have a load of friends and bands in Manchester as well. So I had all the Northern Irish. My Facebook was full of all the Northern Irish people I know in bands going over. Then had all the Manchester lot. Band called Fetal Juice and all that. They were all heading down.
Fetal Juice, yeah.
So I know them from gig, like a lot of the lads in Manchester from gigging. I didn't realize I knew the lad who's helped play guitar for Devon.
What, really?
No way.
Yeah, he plays he's from Manchester, playing the band in Manchester. So I was looking at the the list of who he'd got from the UK, and I was like, oh, holy hell, I know you. How many gigs were you?
Is that true that Devon travelled on his own over to England and then recruited?
Quarantined
I think it was the bass player from Sixth. Like I say, the guitarist was from Manchester, from a couple of bands up around. He plays a couple of bands in Manchester. I can't remember who the drummer is, but they're all UK. Hadn't played as a band.
That's incredible.
So they got together to rehearsal.
To do that. Like,
serious pressure,
he's dedicated,
serious pressure.
He's the mad scientist. Like he can do no wrong as far as.
But he gets. he always says that he's got a massive. He's really, really thankful of the support he gets from the UK. So he's prepared to do those sorts of things for them.
Yeah.
He really did kind of do everything he could to make sure that it could happen. Do you know what I mean? So
the only time I fucking can recollect something like that happened at Bloodstock was Corrosion of Conformity flew over to Bloodstock, and they left their drummer Reid Mullen, who's since passed away, sadly enough.
That's right. Yeah.
They left Reid behind because he was dealing with issues, and they got a drummer again from Manchester.
Yeah. And
he fucking nailed it. So he did on the day. Like, it was incredible to watch. Like,
I'd make a fucking balls of it anyway.
You need a little bit of time, man. You played on the last Vinci fucking stream, which I have yet to watch. My apologies, but I've been over
made
in
a balls of that as well. Like.
No, you didn't, or did you? I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure. I'd be surprised if you did. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And tell us about the absent member of HAINT. Give him a shout out.
Steve, our lovely drummer. Yeah, good lad.
He couldn't
let's talk about how you came across Steve and how the band started, lads, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so like I said, I actually lived over in Manchester for about 15 years. I'd moved back, and obviously known Ian since my Condemned days and stand-up guy. And found out that he was actually only living about a mile and a half away from me. So I gave him a shout and said, right, do you want to start writing some stuff and jamming together? I think we took us about, 3 years of just the two of us.
Yeah.
Messing around writing some songs. And then Steve.
The inevitable search for a drummer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hen's Teeth.
Hen's Teeth is right, yeah. They're either in 7 bands or They just seem to do it as a hobby, or they're shit.
Yeah. There's a reason. Yeah.
There's a difference between owning a drum kit and fucking. You can own a drum kit, but being able to play it's a separate thing. Trust me.
I can play it, but I can't play it in time.
Yeah.
That's like me. I've got those 2 guitars behind me, but I'm a bass player. Trust me, I cannot play them that well.
I have 4 guitars in my wall. Like,
they're behind me too.
I do play like, but
but as a bass player, I'm telling you, I'm not that good on them. I may have the guitars, but actually being able to play them properly, that's a different story.
Yeah, like if I was ever in a band, it would have to be me writing the riffs and me showing it to people, because I could write something that might be weird for someone else to play, but they could give me something so straightforward, and it's just not the way I play, and I just won't be able to do it. Like
I would not even want to try and play Ian's riffs.
But Darren, salute you, man, because it's very rare that I have a genuine bassist on the show. They're usually fucking guitarists.
There you go.
No,
it's true. Yeah,
I'm a bass player since day one. I've always been a bass player.
The fucking low end, man. Woohoo!
Low end.
Jeez, we'd be lost without it, huh?
Exactly.
So go on anyway. So how did you find Steve?
I've known Steve since I think we were both 16, and we'd played in bands in high school, and then 20 odd years had passed, and we hadn't really seen each other. You know, I know he played in Bad Boat. He still plays bass in
fucking hell, Bad Boat. Yeah. I was looking at them all going, because they contacted me once or twice as well, and I was just going, how do I know that head? And I know he's with Owl Crusher, but it was Bad Boat. Very good.
So Steve, that was when we kind of rekindled the friendship, and then he messaged me out of the blue one day saying, "Man, I'm looking to get back into the drums," because he plays bass in Owl Crusher and hadn't played drums in a long time.
Oh.
I was like, "Are you doing anything?" And I was like, well.
Funny you should ask.
Just so happens that we are. And that was it, man. Like, we just got together, and like all bands do, we started off with some dodgy covers, and then we were like,
go on, what covers? Go on. I have a little thing there going for covers.
Do you know what? We've rattled through a lot of covers, but I don't think we've ever actually played one of them properly.
No.
But what were the type of covers you were playing?
Vote with a Bullet.
Vote with a Bullet, and we did Surprise You're Dead by Faith No More.
Great fucking sick.
We've done a couple of Mastodon songs.
I knew right well you were gonna say Mastodon.
That always kind of shapes what you can expect.
But the thing as well is, like, do you know, if someone's like, "Oh, we did a few dodgy covers," it's like, you're playing fucking Mastodon. It's not like you're doing an ABBA tune that it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking hard to play.
It is a complete bollocks. Yeah, it is. It's a complete.
Do you know what's been on my fucking playlist for the last 3 days? And it was released, I played it and then left it because there's so much. You're just being bombarded by music. But Mr. Bungle's album has been just for the last 3 days.
Yeah, totally.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
I know. And I see Mike Patton cancelled a lot of things.
And that came up then. I was just going, fucking
play to him, man.
That's right. He's got to look after himself.
I saw a few comments on that where people are like giving out, being like, "Oh, we've waited for so long." It's like,
fuck off.
But you know, it's this thing. It's like, you're such a selfish cunt if you think that in a way. Yeah. And then we're getting things where, like, you know, we'll have musicians that we look up to that will kill themselves. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when it's a situation like that, everyone's like, "Oh, we have to do something about this." It's like, he's doing it, like he's looking after his head. Let him do that. There'll be plenty more fucking gigs.
You know what? He is one of the most important fucking people in that scene in a long,
the amount of people
time.
He's worked with is insane.
It is insane, and the fact, I know he has to have mental health issues with some of his lyrics, and I mean, this is a guy that just lives on the edge the whole time. You can, in his performances, both live and on record, you can feel this guy is 110% into the fucking music. He lives for it, you know? So I'm not surprised that he has him. But I mean, to fucking stand up and say, "Look, I have him, and let's cancel a tour." Fuck it. Well done, you know?
Do you know what? There'll be plenty more, as long as there's more tours for him to do. That's all that matters. Like, I think a lot of people with mental health are they're all well and good to fly the flag when it suits them on fucking Instagram or whatever. But, you know, if someone has to cancel something for something like this and you're not behind them, then fuck off.
I know. And it makes you think about, you know, like Chris Cornell and various other individuals. I think, what were they going through at the time? You know, because we always put these people on this pedestal of,
of course,
they're untouchable. There's no way they could possibly have mental health issues. But we're all human in the end of the day.
Yeah. We all shit from the same place.
We do.
You know?
That's one way to put it.
And I would imagine no matter how many people you've got around you, when you get to that sort of point in your music career, it probably gets a bit lonely.
Yeah. You're
There's an expectation on you, first of all.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest pressure. There's an expectation on you, especially with Patton in relation to what he's done. You look at his career; it's fucking
big time,
incredible.
He's literally a god to some people. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that alone will have.
So
there we go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're so grateful he's still fucking making music.
Exactly.
Yeah. And long may it last.
I mean, that Mr. Bungle album is insane.
Incredible.
It's fucking insane. His performance on it is just like, holy shit, this guy is what? I'm guessing probably 50.
Yeah, I think he's around 50, right?
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Wow, fucking hell. Getting in Scott Ian and Dave Lombardo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he looks well, to be fair to him as well, like for as much as, like, so incredibly active. Like, have you ever looked at like the amount of bands that he's featured on or worked with? And the list is fucking insane.
But also the type of stuff he does, you know, what he does as well. Some of the stuff he's not even, there's no lyrics or words. He's just using his voice as an instrument. Some of the stuff's completely out there.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic seeing what he does.
Yeah. I mean, Phil Anselmo as well is someone like him that like, we should be just grateful that he's fucking here. Another fantastic vocalist, and that's all he's done is vocals.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think with Phil, people either love him or hate him. Like, I love him.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. But again, he's another guy that's just fucking.
Few bottles of red wine, and he's not always the nicest person.
Yeah. I kind of like, I always, for some reason, I'm like, I don't know if with that kind of thing, I'd have to just refresh it in my mind, but I think Rob Flynn is a bit of a dope as well. So, and I think he kind of like took that for something it actually, I'm feeling it wasn't actually what he was saying it is. And I'm just like I just love to tell Rob Flynn to shut up in general, like, but when it comes to something like this, I'm like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't presume you were doing fucking Machine Head covers anyway, lads.
No Machine Head covers.
No Machine Head covers.
Okay, so Steve quickly got on board with the project anyway. Yeah,
big time. Yeah, and then we already at that stage had a good collection of songs that we just started working through. You know, and it's been a slow burn. And
do you think that benefited you in a way, Ian? I know it's hard to fucking say that now because it's been such a fucking 2-year trial and error up to now. But like, have you gone back and revisited songs and maybe made a few changes or what?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Okay.
I think the first gig for us was a real trial by fire because, you know, again, I think even on the day of the gig, before the gig, we were out in Darren's car, like just still learning the lyrics, you know, and going.
Learning? You know. I'm still writing the lyrics. I'm still writing lyrics.
So, you know, and to go up and actually win our heats was just like, what is actually going on?
Imposter syndrome, like
the pandemic hit. Yeah.
I know. You're on this high, and then suddenly it's like, right?
Yeah.
But it did. It gave us time to regroup and concentrate on the songs and get tight and work on the lyrics, because that's one thing Darren and I have figured out is our music is a ball ache to sing and play at the same time.
Oh, I could imagine.
It's a three-piece, How hard is that?
I mean, it has its advantages. You know, again, you know, 3 egos is better than 5 egos. You know, that's the way.
Absolutely,
You only have to look at the crawling for a 3-piece there.
100%.
Yeah. They do
And
really well.
Sky
as well.
Pilot.
Yeah. You know, they've been really good friends of mine for a long time. And yeah, I mean, it works. We have like a dynamic between the three of us. We all have our own individual places within the band, whether it be on a visual basis or where we want to take things. And obviously Darren is our recording maestro. You know, he just eats and sleeps and breathes those things. So we've had a chance to like pre-production a lot of our songs, you know, and we're still kind of in the middle of doing that. You know,
I saw the click track.
For Unbound. Yeah, it's just the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah.
But like even, you know, 1 or 2 BPM changes, like they make a huge difference and you wouldn't actually notice it. But I was just looking through it and I was like, oh my God. Like fair play.
And that, funny enough, that is one of the songs that's quite a bugger to sing and play.
I could imagine, yeah.
I think as well, one of the good things is because we've had the time as well, we've been able to sort of look at the dynamics of even talking about the vocals, you know, not only about writing the vocals, but I think one of the things that probably people won't expect when we come back is there's a lot of harmonies and singing, and it's not just all shouting or metalcore or, you know, there's everything in there vocally.
Vocals.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very much.
Okay.
A huge dynamic that can bring to a band with 2 vocals.
That's interesting.
And I think pretty much everything that I think every song has clean singing in it, and pretty much every bit of clean singing probably is harmonized. You know, there's a lot of vocals going in.
That's
as well.
a lot of work to kind of get right as well, you know. And when that's done right, it's very noticeably done right.
Yeah, but we've been allowed the time, you know, and that's I think benefited things massively. And doing the pre-production stuff and going, right, this is what the songs actually sound like. Yeah, because it is different, man. Like when you're sitting in the rehearsal room, you have different ears on.
Things, yeah, of course, yeah.
Completely different ears on. So when you actually sit down and listen to the songs, you go, that we could do that better, or we could do this, or we could change that. You know, and that's
properly dissecting them, like it'll happen a lot where bands will have, you know, say if they're going for a recording, sit and play it and go through loads of small parts, but it's it's once the drums are down, you're putting bass, and then you're putting guitar on. There might be just like a hammer on or something that's like, are you doing it from here or were you doing it from here? And you'll find out that like 2 people were playing things completely different the entire time, like, you know. So being able to sit and like dissect the songs like this can 100%. Only be a positive, like, you know.
100%.
I mean, the dynamic there, there's just like, it's like if you do it right, I mean, I'm just thinking there is 3 pieces there. Like you're looking at like maybe High on Fire there, you know, Conan, I mean, Jesus Christ, they don't need another guitarist. Those 2 bands, just out of the blue.
As well.
Slowmatics, fucking what are the other lads? Nomadic Rituals.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, there's a 3-piece.
Yeah. We have had a couple of guys come, and we've had periods where, you know, we were toying with the second guitarist, but it just never kind of panned out. And it works as a 3-piece.
Yeah. And we got to give a shout out to our little friends down south at Grey Stag.
Our boys, Jesus Christ, how could I like? And sure, we had Steve on the last one as well, like, and Tombs,
there is plenty of 3-pieces as well in Iron Man, and they're fucking knocking it out of the park for sound, you know. So once you get your tone right, and I'm really interested now that there's 2 of you singing. That's going to be interesting.
I'd like a huge dynamic, like, absolutely.
Well, the plan is like whenever Steve's going to sing as well, so it'll be the 3 of us. You know, so
the fucking G's over here, like
3-part harmonies and a cappella.
Oh, there are, some of the demo versions. There are 3-part harmonies and stuff on the songs. Or
fucking.
I'm a big fan of writing overlapping lines and stuff where you know lyrics bleed into one another, and some of it you have to have 3 people. Ian's laughing because it's.
Where are you pulling those influences from, Darren?
Big time, like I'm big time into the likes of Baroness and Mastodon. I don't know. I've got massively eclectic music taste, so just everywhere.
Yeah, but vocally wise, ideally, you're looking at is
Devin,
it Mastodon?
to be honest, Mastodon, Devin, Deftones, those would be my sort of main, and Patton,
ticking all the boxes there, mate.
Similarly for me, I think my biggest focus is the music. I tend to write the majority of the music, and again, my influences are massive. Everything. I was raised on Deep Purple and AC/DC. My mum named me after Ian Gillan because Deep Purple were a favorite band.
Class.
And I love all that stuff. But I think biggest influences would be Deftones, Meshuggah, Metallica, and every band in between. Blues.
The blues is a big influence up in Northern Ireland, because we were talking about Acid Age before you came on there, and I was talking to the lads there, they're massive blues fans and jazz as well.
100%, yeah. Blues is massive a lot of for me.
Guitarists especially are like, a lot of them will be massively into blues, because I think blues guitar, even in metal, like there's so much that it actually mixes over without realizing,
Yeah. Like Peter Green was my biggest guitar hero whenever I was a kid, when I started. When I was like 8 or 9. Just the blues guys. And then I heard James Hetfield roar for the first time, and that was a complete game changer for me, I suppose.
As in all of us, in fairness, although it was Lemmy beforehand for me. I just came across Howard Stern's interview with Metallica with Miley Cyrus. She sang fucking Nothing Else Matters. And actually, it's a cringe song. I personally, I'm not a fan of it, but the way she delivered that, I just went, fuck it. That's actually respect.
Fair play to her.
That's pretty cool.
For fucks,
like she has a pair of balls.
She's
fucking good at what she does, man.
Wow.
She is.
She must smoke about 60 cigarettes a day.
To get a voice like that. You can see Hetfield going, fucking hell.
I can't do that.
Because initially it did look like that she was just fucking mimicking Hetfield, and then she just went 3 or 4
her own thing,
that's fucking.
And even Elton John, I think, plays piano on that track, which is
what?
Yeah, James
Does he
Hetfield
really?
He made Hetfield cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he said, was it Nothing Else Matters? It was like one of the best songs he's ever. One of the greatest
Elton
songs
John?
ever written.
Elton John.
Wow, Christ. And Hetfield was in tears over that.
I'd be
that's
crying if he said that to me.
It is. I'm not taking the piss. I'm just amazed
fucking, what a man.
He fucking said it like.
Yeah. I think
I won't be arsed though, fucking trying to fucking shift through fucking how many 50 versions of the Black Album.
Couldn't be fucked.
No. Unless it lands on my fucking plate like Miley, and I go, okay, I'll give that a listen. Yeah.
There's a lot of bands that I would follow that like they would put up their version of it, and I honestly, there hasn't been a single one of them that I've listened to being like, that's actually really cool. And like when you're hearing so many different versions of the same song, it just becomes white noise.
Man. It's fucking, it is white noise.
It gets tiring after a while.
I do listen occasionally the version from S&M though, because with the full San Francisco Orchestra,
it's
something special. But that's different, isn't it? Have you listened to any of the other songs off the Blacklist?
No, I have. I wouldn't even be.
I listened to the Who, the Mongolian band. Through the Never.
I like
HU, isn't it? HU or whatever it is.
How did that come across?
They do a pretty good job of it, actually. Yeah. Considering they use all these traditional instruments, but
even just interesting factor, like you'd be glued to them because that's just not what you're used to seeing as well.
No.
It's something so different.
I saw something different now, and I would go to see the Who because they were supposed to be playing Sunstroke. I'm nearly sure they were.
Yes, they were. Because I was looking forward to seeing them.
And I saw Hell Long is that how Heilung? Hellung. They're kind of like a Viking river dance fucking thing going on. But like everybody was on about, oh, you have to see Hellung, you have to see Hellung. And Mark Morrissey fucking saw him over in Roeburn and stuff like that. But we saw him in Brutal Assault and it looked spectacular, but like 20 minutes into it, you're going, okay, lads.
I've heard this now. Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ. There's only so many times you can rattle fucking bones and do drum patterns and fucking a sea of fog with blue lights. Yeah. No, I mean, people will fucking love him for it, but I saw, ticked. Okay, friends, you know.
Do we think Sunstroke will ever see them try that again?
I really hope so.
I would love that because we all lads, we nearly fucking had it.
I'm so excited. We were so excited. Me and my wife got tickets straight away, and we were just like, yes.
And I was thinking as well, like, you know, with everything being cancelled, fair enough. But I was kind of like waiting for them to do an announcement for next year or something. But it's looking like, you hear rumors where they're just like, nah, they're just bottling it now. But like, I think
if Clan goes ahead, you have a good chance of Sunstroke going ahead.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. It's just like having heard nothing from Sunstroke.
It's been very quiet. That's been very quiet.
Yeah.
But I think if anyone was going, like, I think we're at a stage now that you could, like, if you could mic up a lad taking a piss in a field, people are going to go to it. Like, as long as they can drink, people are going to want to go to something.
Yeah. The want for it is amazing.
Yeah. Let's just talk.
Sorry. No. I was just saying that the Zealot Cult gig, I know it's like 60% capacity, but an hour and a half, that was sold out. An hour and a half, like, like 60 capacity is still a lot of people for an Irish venue to sell out in an hour and a half. Like, do you know what I mean? People, and that's like, with it being seated, whatever, some people don't want to do that, but it shows that people are ready for it. They've been starved for so long,
Chomping at the bit for it, like,
yeah. Wouldn't it be lovely now if we had all these little candles, around the tables and,
Cult.
For these tasseled lamps, at each table, and waiter service as well. You know what I mean?
We can give John a message. I guarantee you, like that would be something he would do. He'll get like a heart lamp and put it on ours. Like,
Ian, I want to talk about stand-up, guy, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Give us just an overview and how the band finally finished. And I mean, you achieved a hell of a lot for what you were.
I remember,
if you don't mind me saying.
We did, yeah. I mean, I look back on those times very, very fondly, but the last couple of years of stand-up guy were quite difficult, to say the least. Because it's there's a hunger with a lot of Irish. We don't get a lot of bands coming over to Ireland. Yeah. So I think from a local scene, you want to strive to do everything you can and try and escape it, and we had spent a lot of time touring, and then in 2010, we got the opportunity to go and play at a lot of the big festivals, and we did Download and Sonosphere and a few different things, but it kind of sort of crippled us financially.
Okay.
And because again, we were an Irish band. Every time, it's the same with these shows next week in Scotland. Getting a ferry over with a bunch of guys in a van, you're talking 400 or 500 quid each time.
Mm-hmm.
And
were you managing yourselves?
James and the Distortion Project were sort of helping us with sort of bookings and things, but effectively everything that we had to do was coming out of our pockets, especially when it came to sort of touring. So that's when the cracks started to kind of appear, and we kind of decided, like, we may as well quit while we're ahead. We've made a good run of it. And yeah, and that was really it.
I think that kind of happens a lot with bands where like the drive is there, but financially that can be, and you know, when a band gets to a certain level, you might still love playing and stuff, but it's very hard to just be like, you know what, we're going to play a lot less. We're just going to do a gig here and there after trying to push it, then just to be like, to take a step back. I can imagine that it just kind of kills your drive and your love for it, that it just doesn't feel the same unless it's full tilt. So
yeah, but
I understand that. All right, money is a fucking bitch. I love money so much, but I don't have enough of it. That's the problem.
This is it, you know. And there's only so much you can do when you're in a band. You need a lot more people around you supporting. But I think that's, I suppose, the good thing that's come from that is that I think all three of us have taken a lot of lessons from the bands that we've been in before. You know, I think Wayne had said it a couple of times, it's not our first rodeo. So you build up a support platform, you build up contacts, you know, when some of these contacts just don't disappear. Yeah, that's kind of how we've been lucky and landing a place in the Awards Festival next week. Just because Steve has kept contacts and has played that festival before, and you know, you get to know the pitfalls of being in a band and what to avoid and who to watch out for, and you know, try and not get ripped off, basically.
Yeah. Would you think there's a better community around the whole scene now, lads?
I think so. Yeah, without a doubt. I think, you know, things have changed. I stepped out of the band scene for a long time, you know, got married and had wee ones, and and life kind of gets in the way. But you know, when you
joined the rat race,
yeah. But as I said earlier, you know, there just seems to be a real hunger with a lot of Irish bands that you just don't tend to see. You don't tend to see anywhere else.
I think a lot of that with the size of the country, you know, like you can get so much done, and because we don't have everything that you could have over in the UK. Like you could be a band in the UK, and you know, you can do decent tours often and not have to leave. Like obviously, you know, it's great to leave, but with Ireland, there's only so many times you can play certain venues before you're fucking overkilling it. Like, so that's I think where the hunger would come from, where people are. Like, you find Irish bands wanting to get out more. The
Scotland scene is very much like the Irish scene, but they have the benefit of being attached to fucking England, so they can fucking move on down. But there's a lot of similarities and a lot of fucking great characters that will fit in with both scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. What would be now saying, like, going from stand-up guy, what would be the do's and don'ts that you were kind of like, right, we're definitely doing this with HAINT, we're definitely not doing this?
Jeez, that's a good question. I think it's God,
feel free to absolutely rinse someone as well. Like.
No, I think the key thing that came from that is kind of understanding that people will, especially in the music scene, and will continue to bullshit you consistently. You know, we were offered all sorts of things, you know, from managerial levels to sort of booking agent levels, and a lot of people, we were basically sending them CDs and CD packs and all those sorts of things, which just fell on deaf ears and didn't go anywhere. So I suppose really the key thing would be is just to be kind of believe in yourself and try and do as much as you can yourself. I mean, you look at what the Crawling have done, you know, and Andy's an absolute genius. They all are.
Yeah, he's an absolute machine.
He just has this way of knowing exactly what to do, and it's inspiring. There's no doubt about it at all.
Definitely, yeah. I couldn't agree more. That guy is very driven, like, and for doing it so long, not to see a drive drop. Yeah, that he's still just as into it. You know, he still wants to push just as much. You know.
They've a good fucking circle around them.
They do, yeah.
You know, they've a good foundation there, and a big shout out as well to Pete as well from Strangleware.
Oh, yeah, there must be something in the
Oh,
water,
the Clark,
house.
the Clarks, yeah.
Yeah,
Buckfast.
I know from my days in Condemned with him, like what he's like, and I don't think there's anybody more driven than Pete Clark.
Yeah,
you look at what he's done with Stranglewire, taking them to America and all.
Absolutely, absolutely, and they've a new release coming on, and they're going to be on the fucking show as well.
Excellent,
without a doubt, man.
Yeah, but it's that sort of stuff that's it's inspiring. You know, there's no question about it. It just shows you like this is what can be done when you persevere and you have a clear vision of where you want to be and how you want to get there.
Yeah, in relation to the term underground, especially with you, Ian, would you find that looking at the underground scene now and the underground scene back when you were there, again, I'm just trying to figure out how much of a community spirit is there now in relation to back then? Like for, even like support wise.
It's a good question. Part of me is going, God, it was so long ago that I can't really remember. And then because it's been so far removed from it, I really haven't quite seen exactly.
I suppose you haven't experienced it, have you? No. You haven't really experienced it, yeah?
Not really.
No.
It's fucking true, man, because you'd experience it more so, Evan, when you're touring around the country, wouldn't you?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. That's interesting, actually. You haven't,
No, so it's still all quite infantile with us at this moment in time. But I think, if anything, the drive has been there. We're still keeping people in the loop. We're still posting things on our social media. We're still kind of putting teasers up there and different things. And
which I have to say, a lot of which is Ian. We've all kind of fallen in, like Ian said, we've all kind of fallen in the roles, and Ian's proved to be the best one at updating things and social media and stuff.
You have to do it, man. You have to do it.
He has to, but he is a legend at it. Certainly compared to me.
But even if you're trying to find some kind of positive over the last 2 years, it's like social media wise now, like even though there hasn't been the gigs, you've been able to have that, build that bed that you have that following now, that when you're going to get these shows done, you have somewhere that the posts are going to fall on, rather than if you're just launching now, you're trying to get a following as well as get the name out. Whereas some of it's, started now.
No pressure.
Once the music is like coming in the shows, there's already a place to put it. You know what I mean?
Well, you're on on the metal cell anyway, so this is another plus.
Absolutely honoured,
we'll fucking push ye hard, lads, and as I said, we're here to help, aren't we, Ev?
100%, lads, absolutely, without a doubt.
Fucking get some recorded material into the forums, and Evan will try not to slaughter you.
I'll be really sound to your faces and then just be like, I actually think they're a bunch of dickheads. No, well, any of the riffs that you've been putting up in are fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, was the one that you put up today just something you were messing around with?
I basically
hefty,
never ever stopped writing music.
Wow. Even when you joined the rat race.
Even when
he wrote more than I'd say.
Totally. I did, without a doubt. I wrote even more stuff. So I've I still have an old iPhone with 400 riffs on it, but if I lose it, I'm screwed,
Darren, you write some of the lyrics as well. Is it hard to fucking not write about the shit that we're in at the moment? Where do your lyrics come from? What would be the themes?
Trying to a lot of my lyrics just personal experience, obviously, just the stuff that you can relate to, but because we I think we're not too far off 50-50 splitting. We tend to say, well, I'm going to do this song, you do that song, and then we'll demo our vocal ideas and check everybody's happy with what we've written, and then start to learn our parts. most of my lyrics, I'd say, is just stuff from personal experience. Oh, hello.
It was actually, I was just about to say, I guarantee you there's a verse about changing nappies, like, and then
Oh, no.
I was like, whoa, yeah.
I do have a song about it, there is a funny, one of the songs.
Like, you have songs already called Hal, Destroyer of Worlds, Screaming at the Storm. Maybe they're the three obvious ones to me that you released. Lyrical themes in relation to those. Is Hal about Hal the computer? No.
Hal is kind of, it's very much our take on the 21st century in terms of we allow social media and our mobile phone devices to take control to an extent. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very much, we have our lives on this brick in our pockets, that we carry around, and it's... I
haven't had credit in about 6 months, so...
It's all right.
I'm
you're still promoting that haircut.
I know. See, this is what happens. Like, if I was distracted by my phone, I probably wouldn't have done it. I could have just been sitting there scrolling through Instagram, but no, I had to fucking use my brain and come up with a stupid idea. Like, I know.
So, for example, that's Hal. Any other ones you can give us a kind of insight into, Ian? Destroyer of Worlds, Screaming at the Storm.
Destroyer of Worlds is one of Darren's. So he might be better explaining that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wrote the lyrics for another song called Genius Loci, which is really about the spirit of a place and again how we're like inspired by our surroundings, and we manifest certain feelings by being in certain places that remind us of different occasions, whether that be great things or whether that be sad things, it's so that again, most of our lyrics are in interpretations of life events, and we're all in our 40s and getting no younger, so
with kids,
with kids and
kids. Yeah, no, it's great as well. Screaming and everything and Screaming were both written. We basically my wife had breast cancer, so I went through treatment. So both of those were ways of me trying to vocalize both what I could see, how she was coping and dealing with it, as well as me. So those are
having that as an expression is like, being able to. Because I think when a lot of situations that come up for musicians, that sometimes people aren't the best at actually just sitting down and talking about something, but it's a lot easier to express it, even in just writing a fat riff. Do you know what I mean? Like it holds its own weight for what it can do for your mind.
Yeah.
Big time.
And merchandising wise, what are you looking at? Are you ahead of the game?
More spoons.
Because I was getting to it. I hope there's a fucking T-shirt with a fucking wooden spoon in it.
After the spoons, we were also talking about commemorative plates.
Unbelievable. I like this because I remember when I said it on the podcast about like, because and when you messaged me being like, what's your address, I'll send you a spoon, I was like, there's no fucking way these lads have a load of wooden spoons in their and you did, and I was just like, genuinely, that was one of the best gifts I've ever gotten.
It fucking was, man. It was so just bizarre.
It was the fact for me, it was like, it's not like fuck, we should get one done up really quick. That was there. That was already made. You know?
Yeah, there's about 30 or 40 of them.
That's unreal. It's like Kiss, like, you know.
I'm gonna take one off you as well, man, because I tell you, I got battered by a wooden spoon when I was a kid by the mother.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you're over the age of 35, the
strike fear into
you. Just strikes fear in everybody.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right across the back of the legs, man. Nothing more fearful.
That's it. Back of the hand, you know. It was like, I'm not doing that again.
So how did that idea come up? You were with, is it Power that did it? Yeah. Is it Power that? Yeah.
Powerworks, yeah. So Andy, he's an absolute legend when it comes to doing things. So Steve and I were talking after practice one night, and we were like, geez, what are we going to do for merch? You know, so like you see guys that do like bottle openers and, you know, even back in the day when Jägermeister used to do lots of crazy shit merchandise-wise. And we were like, what, wow, man, what could we do? You know, what about wooden spoons? And Steve was like, interesting. And before he knew it, he had spoken to Andy, and there's 40 odd wooden spoons with a HAINT emblazoned on the side of them. You know, and they're all like laser
the fact that
printed on.
It's like properly. It's not just like a black marker or anything. Like it's
it's
laser
classic,
printed. Like
fucking classic.
Yeah. So it was just like, you know what are we going to do that nobody else has kind of done, and what's going to stand out and keep us unique, keep it a bit fresh, you know. So
well, you had me won over before I even heard a note. Do you know what I mean? Like
oh my god! I hope you're not fucking drawing them out in your kids, lads.
No, geez, my kids are right.
May that circle be unbroken.
No, they have a steel rod that's engraved. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Jesus Christ! Like you have been playing around. I've got the sense you've been playing around with a lot of imagery in relation to the logo will stay the same, I would imagine, because that works fine.
Awesome. Yeah.
But the handprints and stuff. So, like, have you anyone working creatively on a T-shirt even at this stage, or that's always been my thing, you know, other than the music side. You know, I have a degree in graphics, so I've seen your artwork, man. Fair fucks, brilliant. Yeah, I
would tend to do a lot of that stuff and play conceptually with things, but again, not quite at the level whereby I think if it came to album artwork, I don't think I would have the confidence to do something.
And look, you know what? There's plenty out there in Ireland
there's some amazing guys. Like,
you're spoiled for choice.
You really are. Like, yeah, there's no question. There's
loads. There's like Kelvin. There's Colin. There's fucking Jesus Christ. Right. So many lads.
Yeah, but again, visually and conceptually, you know, we all have really good ideas, and Steve has this insanely vivid imagination in terms of, you know, and foresight into things, and he's always good at coming up with conceptual ideas for artwork and stuff. So either way, it'll all tie in. You know, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
it'll
all tie in.
Yeah, and when can we see the fruits of those labours? Will there be a single or an EP release this year? Is that too soon?
Hopefully, we're actually recording this weekend. We start recording. Well, we were trying to work out: is it an EP? Is it an album? I don't know. Our first collection of songs will be recorded.
What would we recommend?
Just get it out. I don't give a fuck what you call it.
Yeah. Do you know what? With digital distribution these days, you know, you don't need an album.
Yeah, like technically an album is 35 minutes or 40 minutes. It doesn't matter how many tracks. It's actually just the length. But
I think we were pretty much in the album territory then when we worked it out. But yeah, I can't remember, 7 songs.
7 songs, yeah.
7 songs, yeah. So we're doing the drums. We start the drums on Sunday, really. Well, I'll be heading down on Saturday to start getting everything set up.
Who's going to be producing?
Yeah.
Wow, fair fucks, man.
Yeah. So that's what I've spent all my time doing, basically, if I'm not working these days.
And are you going to release it out to someone to mix it?
Don't know. I'll probably give it a good bash myself, and then if they tell me it's shit, then we'll see. But I've got a few friends and stuff as well over in England. I'm still in touch with who.
That's great, man. It's great to fucking hear that you're so involved in the whole project. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we've all kind of got our bits that we've all got our responsibilities is the right word, but we've all kind of fallen into our roles. You know, like Ian and the artwork and the social media, and I'm doing all been doing sort of all the producing and pre-production for the recording, and he said Steve's just coming up with all the mad ideas, and he's still talking to a lot of people organising gigs. So we've all kind of just naturally fallen into roles.
I think historically in the last 2 years, the advice would be to release an EP and then have a second EP that keeps you relevant in a scene that's stagnant, obviously through COVID. It's going to be a different situation next year. Please God, we'll have gigs. It'd be lovely to see you down in Cork, lovely to see you down south anyway.
We'll definitely make that happen. Yeah,
no doubt about it at all. It's good to see Fred's opening up again. Fred is always one of my favorite places to play whenever I was a stand-up guy. Even
class.
Back when there was a big wooden post open, they're holding the roof up. I remember that. The first gig we ever played there, I got electric shock off the microphone and got blown halfway across the venue. It was...
So that's not like, I genuinely have heard so many people say that.
Oh my God.
Insane. Yeah. But that's what I love about it,
I wouldn't change it. I'd be wary if they were doing it up too much. It just wouldn't be because even when you bring bands down, like the first time they kind of come in and they're sound checking and stuff, they're like, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, I'm telling you as well, once the gig actually starts, like, you'll see why people play here so often. Like, it's a whole different vibe to a lot of other places that I've played. There's something about it, like, it fucking stinks.
Yeah. Well, that was it. The first couple of times I was in it, you're playing and there's like pigeons flying around and stuff and all. It's just like,
pigeons have long gone.
It was, just so many good memories of playing in places like that. Unbelievable.
Like you have the structure now, Ian, as well, in relation to, like, you could literally hit Galway, you could hit Limerick, Cork, maybe Waterford. I don't know. It could be possible next year. We just need a good promoter down there to pull you in. But it is. Christ, just get us back on fucking track. First of all, as I said, myself and Emma are going next week to Dolan's, like the mecca of fucking metal in a lot of ways, for bands coming down to play there with the Siege. So, like, please God, that happens again next year. So there's a lot to look forward to, and I think we're coming out of the worst of it.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. I think like a lot of people as well are, excuse me. I think a lot of people are, they want to support bands now, whereas before the pandemic, it was a natural thing of being like, someone will tell you they're going to your gig and then be like, oh,
they were spoiled for choice, man.
There could be 3 gigs on the one night. But now, even if there was 3 gigs on the one night, they're all going to be full because people they're dying to go to it. And I have a feeling as well, there'll be a lot of new people going to gigs. Some people that might have just gotten into certain things while they've had so much time at home.
Yeah.
And the scene will definitely grow as long as everyone's just trying to be chill with each other. Like if there's teething pains or whatever, it's not like it was only yesterday that everything was fine. As long as everyone's just kind of supportive, because it goes for anything. Once everyone's helpful and not just fucking ripping the tits off each other, like
that won't happen. Evan. That fucking shit is gone. It kind of weeded that out, COVID, I think, as well. What you've left is the genuine people that want to get people in the doors,
precisely,
to get their bands in and fucking play music.
Bit of rock and roll, lads.
Exactly.
And
I think anything, the pandemic has kind of taught everyone that we got to have a bit of humility about us, like, and be patient, and not take too many things for granted.
I think this is a good time for HAINT now to be fucking rearing up and showing your head over the parapet, and please God, we'll get you down. Maybe, I don't know, is it too early this before Christmas, but certainly next year,
I'll definitely have you down I'll definitely. I've no problem in saying that. I'll definitely have you on something for Dead Cult anyway, without a doubt.
I can't wait for it because again, you know, the only gig we've done people have heard is that Meld to the Masses, so they haven't heard us practiced with the vocals all pinned down. You know. Exactly what we want to do.
It's already the next level by the second gig, you know.
Yeah,
I think people, I think there will be space when people surprised as well.
Yeah,
at the vocals and the way we went with it. So
I have a feeling what I've kind of gathered, not even from this, but even just seeing the posts and even hearing some of the riffs and some of the jams, and I'm like,
absolutely,
when you're starting, you're doing maybe second on a three or four band bill or something. I'm like, I have a feeling that when you do these gigs, I'd be confident saying that it'll be fairly obvious that people are going to be like, we're going to put them up higher. I can definitely see that happening fairly quick for you.
In other words,
from what I've heard,
the lads have the chops, man. They have the chops.
We just need
I hope so.
We just need to display
everything I've heard sounds fucking sick. It's really good.
It's a lot. There's a lot of pressure on us. So there is.
Pressure's for tires.
Bring it on. So listen, thanks a million, Ian and Darren from HAINT. Big shout out to Steve as well, who didn't make it tonight. But keep an eye on this band. They will be coming down soon and they will be releasing some fucking mega fucking heavy shit going by what you've been posting on social media. Yeah. So lads, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Lovely to speak to you.
It's great to talk to you, lads.
Yeah, and Evan, as usual, thank you, man. Support your local fucking metal scene.